Great. All right. Well, it's 2:05, so we'll have people hop on as we go. I welcome you all for being here. We're doing these every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and they've been very informational, encouraging meetings, and appreciate the input of everybody that is a part of these. And last week we talked about a lot of the grant information, the economic injury, disaster loans, the PPP, which is the payroll protection program. Those go through banks like Chris's, right?
Correct.
And the ISO and IDSO, yeah, and the $10,000 grants, those go straight through the SBA. And last week we had our regional rep for the SBDC, the Small Business Development, Sophie from Butte College. And so her information is very important if anyone needs information about SBA and if you want to work through them. This week we've had some folks that have applied and now they can't reach anybody and they're wondering what to do. And SBDC can't jump in on somebody's loan process if there has been if they filed individually without including the SBDC. So if somebody wants to, you can pass it on. If somebody wants to do a SBA loan and they want to work with and through somebody with some great counsel, it would be through the SBDC. And maybe Nat, you could put that phone number and website up on our chat. Does everybody have your chat on? I'm just going to say hi to you guys.
Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. I'll put it up on my screen in case you need it.
You gonna share your screen?
No, I just am pointing it.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I'm low tech.
Okay.
Old school. Butte College, SBDC.com, and their phone number. You got that?
I didn't get the phone number. Is that the 530?
Yep.
Give me just one more second. 895, last 4 digits, 9017.
Correct. So anyways, they're our regional rep, and they've been processing dozens and dozens of loans for local businesses, especially some Red Bluff ones. So that's just really exciting. And we're thankful for that. So maybe to start with, Julia, do you want to give us any updates from Assemblyman Gallagher's office?
Yeah, I can, and he's trying to get on the meeting as we speak.
Okay. All right. I can wait a minute if you want to. We can keep going on some other things.
Yeah, why don't we do that, if you
Okay.
wouldn't mind.
All right. I'm going to put Chris on the spot. Chris, you gave us some great information last week regarding banks working with local businesses. Do you have any updates or what's going on?
Things are starting to move quite a bit faster. I know last time we spoke, even up to Monday, we were at basically 70% of our applications were still pending review. So documentation, making sure that everything that they submitted with their application was accurate. Now that number, even though we've increased our intake, we're now accepting applications again. Where last week we had shut that off for business owners and we were kind of waiting to reopen that. We've now opened it up for an additional 7,000 at Umpqua Bank to apply. Within those, we're starting to get applications in, but our pending verification is now down to like staying at about 31%. So those are actually starting to move through. We're starting to get success with SBA, but a big part of the success for Umpqua has been that we're working 24 hours a day, every day on these. We even had people working Easter to try and get these applications through.
Wow.
In fact, those downtimes are the better times to actually get through on the SBA website. So there's been a lot of movement on that. So we're having some success, and businesses are getting funded. It's still, there's different queues. So depending on your business type, the complexity, the dollar amount, you may go into one bank and have it done, where someone with a larger loan, it takes more verification. So there are differences of experiences with it because of the different complexity of business types and loan amounts. So just be aware. And the biggest thing is to stay on top of watching emails and staying abreast of the situation, even checking spam folders, because we've had a lot of customers to where maybe they got an application, but it went into their spam folder, or they got a communication back to us that their application was incomplete and it went into the spam folder. So really just monitoring emails, staying on top of those communications, because email has been the primary way that we've had success of actually getting these verified. So, but it's overall, it's going much smoother on the Paycheck Protection Plan side.
Great. So for anybody just wondering, or you have others that they're involved in business, the Paycheck Protection Program, that goes through the local bank. So if you have a local bank, go to them. If they're unable to at this point process, they'll direct you to another bank to do that. The other loans are the ones that goes straight through SBA or through the SBDC. Butte College is our regional rep for that, and they're working the same way, 7 days a week, just trying to crank out all of the applications for loans for people, and they're finding some great success there. So I've was emailed today that the money is moving. As of April 13th, there's been 54,000 loans totaling over $20 billion approved just in the state of California. So that's a lot. And I'm hoping that's some of you or will be soon. Great. Let's see. How about law enforcement? Do you guys have anything you want to throw in on how's it going for you guys right now?
Kyle's muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was asking Omar if he wanted to go first and forgot I was muted. No? Okay, I'll go first. Things are different, of course. In all honesty, things are a lot slower for us in a lot of ways. We've asked our personnel to, I'm trying to think of the right way to frame it. Essentially, we're trying to mitigate the volume of contacts we have with individuals to limit the potential for exposure. And so we're trying to do a lot of things by phone that we can. And then we're trying not to unnecessarily put ourselves in jeopardy by making a lot of contacts. So there has been kind of a reduction in workload in that way. So that's been positive. And then, of course, we've done a number of modifications internally, just with staffing and so forth, some adjustments to try to keep our people safe and secure. So it's been interesting. And, of course, a lot of meetings have canceled, so my time has actually been a little more available than usual. And but we're getting used to these Zoom meetings as well. So
great. Now, I understand that just due to the kind of the quarantine and no school and everybody's home, that domestic violence has been up. Is that true in the city and the county?
I'm hearing that. I'm definitely hearing that nationwide. I haven't looked at the actual data to confirm that, but I know that that's definitely one of the calls that we're still responding to on a very regular basis, unfortunately. Yeah, so domestic violence and different disturbances of various sorts, we're definitely continuing to respond to regularly. In fact, it's probably the most common thing that we're responding to on a regular daily basis at this point, because a lot of the other things we can deal with via telephone.
Right. Right. Okay. Good. We're thankful that your folks are out there.
Thank you.
Omar,
Thank you.
what's going on with the California Highway Patrol?
For the most part, still business as usual, with the exception of obviously our lobby being closed. We are still helping people outside if they need like a vehicle release or anything like that. They can call our office. We'll go out there and assist them that way. But we're still out there, and people. The roads are a little empty right now, so people are going just a tad bit faster. I don't know if you're following us, but yeah, we've been getting a few 100+ mile-an-hour speeds. So yeah, those roads are a little open, so people think they can continue the speed, but no.
Wow.
We like to say hello to them.
Well, good. Well, glad you're out there keeping things under control there.
Yep.
Hey, Dave, it's Maryanne Grant. Can you hear me?
Yes, Maryanne, I can.
I don't know why my little picture isn't coming up, but but at least you can hear me. So that's okay.
Yeah, that's a bonus, and we have your materials too that we're going to show.
Okay.
But just 1 minute.
Right.
I wanted to check in with Julia. Do we have Assemblyman Gallagher on?
Yes,
Yes.
I am on now. We were having some technical difficulties there, but I'm on over the phone right now. So.
Hey, that's great. We appreciate you taking the time, and I know you've been sending out some great information that we've been forwarding to all of our members and community members that go out to 800+ emails, plus then it gets forwarded to thousands more. So it's very valuable information. We appreciate that.
No problem. Glad to do it, and glad to be on with you guys here.
So Assemblyman, I just want to give you a few minutes to kind of go through anything that you want to. Nat, can you post up there the letter that so if you're get our chamber emails, you received this yesterday morning. It actually came through Nathaniel's email. But can you put that up, and then can we get our guests on, or I can get our guests on. So here's the letter that you should have in your e-box from yesterday. It talks about the CARES Act, Payroll Protection Program, Small Business Loan Guarantees, Onward California, Disabled Insurance Claims, Family Leave Claims, Unemployment Insurance, and more. So Assemblyman Gallagher, if you want to just give us your take on things.
Sure. Well, definitely want to use this time to hear back from all of you. But you know, we've been reaching out to all the chambers and really just trying to help connect people to different resources that are out there. You know, I realize that some things are working better than others. I mean, I've heard a lot of complaints about, for instance, PPP and just issues either dealing with the bank or, you know, the timelines associated therewith. I still believe that that's a you know, going to be a great assistance to businesses, but certainly there's been a lot of problems rolling it out. So I think that's, you know, one of the primaries that can be helpful. You know, there's also the this SBA disaster loan program. You know, at the state level, one of the things that they've, you know, tried to roll out is for persons that have found themselves unemployed. They set up a website, Onward, that tries to let everybody know about different places that are actually hiring. Because even though there might have been, you know, a forced closure because of this, maybe there's other areas that are actually hiring and, you know, trying to get people into work or back into work. So I think that's another, you know, useful resource that can be out there. unemployment insurance, obviously there's been a lot of claims on that, as the stay-at-home order has been in place. So I know at least at first there was a lot of problems with EDD. We've helped people, with trying to navigate that. But, they certainly didn't seem to be prepared for the amount of claims that were going to come in. And my thought was, well, you should, something that we should have been prepared for, considering everything. But nonetheless, we've been trying to help people navigate that as well. Certainly trying to work on, hey, when can we open back up? Having a lot of discussions, on that front with the governor's office and also with local public health officers. And so that's, you may have heard the governor announce yesterday that they are going to start looking at an open up strategy. Didn't really give a definite date, but did say, look, if we keep seeing some of the trends here in terms of hospitalizations going down and cases going down, that we can probably start opening things back up. It's still not a lot of clarity on what that's going to look like, but at least some of the things that he was alluding to made it sound like it would be more of a phased in opening up. And to me seemed a little bit overly bureaucratic. And to me, I think it should really be made at a local level decision and based on what the locals themselves are experiencing. And it might look different in LA than it would look up here. There was some discussion about there still may be requirements on masking, and there might be requirements, for instance, for restaurants on how many tables you could have. And I've already heard a little bit of rumblings, in response to that, or a redesign, or requiring redesign of how stores are set up. Obviously, all of that can be, could be pretty cumbersome and expensive for people. And it's kind of like, well, if we're ready to open up, then why not open up? So those are some of the different things that have come up as this is, just been announced yesterday. We're going to try and work through those. And certainly my intent is, we got to do it safely, but my intent is to try and figure out how do we get back opened up when that time comes, and with as little burden as possible. So I think that's kind of some of the, the broad overview of different things going on. Definitely want to hear from you if there's any, issues, problems, questions. We want to be here to help as we have been, and we'll continue to do so.
Well, I appreciate that information. Do you have, I know it would just be a guess, but is there any date of things being lifted? I mean, May 1st, or, any indication of any date, or would it just be a guess?
No, there is no date certain. What I'm trying to figure out is if the decision is going to be made, at the state level, or if it's going to be made by the local public health officers. They talked about together with them, but there hasn't been a date certain. I know there's some differences in modeling. You have what's the University of Washington IMHE model that's been pretty public and out there that you can go online and look at for every state. That model shows California's peak as occurring this week, and it being very much flatter, and describing there would be a much less need for hospitalizations and ICU beds. The state of California has its own modeling that they've been doing, and they say the peak is more going to be in mid-May for California.
Could you repeat that last bit? I think you cut out something about mid-May.
Sorry. Yeah, the state of California has been doing its own modeling, and they show a peak in mid-May. And they haven't really been sharing that modeling. They've only recently started sharing it. And it shows, you know, a higher amount of hospitalizations and ICU beds needed. So there's kind of some, you know, difference in modeling going on there that hasn't really been fully explained. But nonetheless, the state is sort of saying, hey, the peak's coming later. Whether I think we still need to see what happens in these next couple of weeks in terms of what is actually happening on the ground. But though, you know, there is definitely some differences in modeling going on there, and so that is going to affect probably ultimately what date they say we're ready to start opening up.
Great. A couple of things from us. I mean, number one is we want to help local community and local businesses with you know, a bounce back program. How are we going to reclaim, you know, and restart things? So we're very interested in any programming moving forward for that. Just a couple of celebratory things we want to do is on Main Street, when things are open, we're going to get a huge ribbon and our big scissors, and we're going to do a ribbon cutting to say Red Bluff and Tehama County are open. And we're real excited about that and bring everybody out.
Yeah, that sounds great.
We are missing our Roundup rodeo, and we have a parade that was scheduled for this Saturday, which obviously is not taking place. So we're going to do a celebratory parade sometime after the ribbon cutting, whenever things are really clear, to invite everybody out. And if they want to walk the parade, if they want to stand and cheer on the sidelines, we're going to invite the whole community to come and be a part of that as well, just to reinvigorize the community and envision and just saying, hey, we're going to do this together.
No, I know, man, and that is unfortunate. Obviously, Roundup's always such a great time up there, and you know, seeing some of these great events that are not happening has certainly been heartbreaking, man. I think for everyone, but you know, can't wait to see that happen when we do the opening, and certainly would love to be up there when you guys do that.
Great, wonderful. We will keep you in touch with that. And maybe this is a question possibly you could answer, or maybe even our banker Chris might be able to get involved in this. But we do have on our chat one question: has anybody yet received their EIDL money, their economic injury disaster loan money? I think it takes a few more weeks than this, but Catherine is asking that. Has anybody heard of anybody receiving money yet? I take that silence as a no.
I can confirm that I haven't had anybody come to me saying that they received their EIDL loan yet.
I'm sure they would too, right, Chris?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on that. I mean, we've had PPP ones go out, but not EIDLs that I've heard of.
So you have seen some PPP loans come and go out?
Yes, I have.
Oh, perfect.
Been funded.
Good job. Assemblyman?
Go ahead. What's that?
Anything? Have you heard of the economic injury disaster loans going out? The EIDLs, whatever they.
I haven't heard like numbers on specific, like how many are going out.
Okay.
You know, certainly there's a lot of people that have, you know, applied and as I said, there has been, you know, I think, you know, I've heard a lot of delays in terms of this stuff getting through, and I think that's been kind of a common frustration across the board.
So our motto on these Zoom meetings and elsewhere has been perseverance and patience. You know, we're just going to have to persevere through the process and the applications and the delays or the time angst of the time before we hear back, but then just to have patience to realize, you know, this is the biggest loan to small businesses ever, and it's you know, it's clogging things up a little bit, understandably, but I know that everybody is on the same page to work through this, from local government, local banks, all the way up to the SBA, to the federal government. So I'm just hoping there's just going to be a windfall of all these loans come through shortly. So let me introduce you all to Maryanne Grant. Maryanne comes from Sacramento. She comes up to Red Bluff on a regular basis to do incredible business trainings on all subjects, from leadership to HR to everything else. And they have quite a lot of resource on their website as well that we've been promoting the last few weeks for people either to download issues regarding employment issues or employee issues, how to handle things during COVID, a lot of things. But so she's from the California Employers Association, and wanted Maryanne to give a couple minutes update on what's going on. Hi, Maryanne.
Oh, yes, thank you, Dave, very much. We always enjoy coming up to Red Bluff, as you know. Dave, can you put up that link that I sent you on additional resources? So what we've been doing, California Employers Association, for those of you who aren't familiar with us, we're a human resource company. We're a membership organization. We're a nonprofit to help small businesses especially navigate their way through the complexity of California laws. And so during this whole COVID-19 issues, we have been doing a lot of webinars. And even though we are a membership organization, we have offered these webinars for free to any business who gets onto our website, and they can join and listen to all this information. So I sent Dave a link today, and it's on the California Employers Association website. But there's a lot of additional resources that businesses can tap into. So Dave, if you have that up,
we're working on getting it up, Maryanne. Okay. Nathaniel, did you get that link? Can't hear you, Nat.
So I have the link. I can throw the link up. I also have the web page loaded if you want me to just share that.
Yeah, show us the web page.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Okay, can you see that? Employers.org.
There it is. There it is. And there's the additional resources. So, you know, California Employers Association does a whole lot of things to help businesses. That's our whole goal, is to help employers. But if you scroll down a little bit, further down on this page,
there's the webinars. Go back up a little bit for me. I want to show everybody a little bit higher on the page.
There you go.
The webinars right there. That's where things start.
There you go.
Those are current. You guys have done a great job in doing that.
Thank you. And what we've done is we have recorded all of our webinars, so anybody can still tap in to our website, and it will tell you everything. Like the first one is an update on emergency paid sick leaves, FMLA leave, all that sort of thing. So all these recordings are available for free to businesses. And then we have a lot of you know, frequently asked questions and forms, which you can tap into any one of these things as well. So we have a ton of information that we're sharing, as I say, at no cost to small businesses through this crisis that we're all in together.
Wonderful.
So
keep scrolling down that so they can see just about. Yeah, so there's HR forms, CARE Act resources, information about COVID. Go up a little bit higher. State of California resources. Obviously, we're a whole nother ball game, and so they have their expertise on that. up a little bit higher on this. Yeah, and the frequently asked questions. So those are huge resources, whether it's you on the call here today, or whether it's somebody, a neighbor you know, or a business that you're, or an organization you're assisting. This is excellent information to help out.
Great. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Maryanne, and give us your phone number or your email or your website.
Well, the web address is employers.org. So it's employers, which is plural, .org.
Okay.
Our phone number, you want the phone number?
Sure.
It's 800-399-5331. And if anybody goes onto the website and goes on to, it'll be right on the home page. It'll show you webinars, and they just click. And if you have any problem getting on to any of our things, just call the office and someone will be happy to assist you.
Wonderful. So we have it up on our group chat now too, both the website and the phone number. If anybody needs
Perfect.
it, or you know somebody that might need some help, they're excellent.
Thanks again, Dave.
Yeah, Maryanne, we appreciate you. So from anybody else that's out there, are there any other issues, questions, updates that you have? Don't all speak at once.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
This is Amber with the EDD office.
Hi, Amber. Your mouth is not moving. No, let's go ahead.
No, it's not. It's just a picture. I'm sorry.
It's good. That's good.
Just letting you know, because I know a lot of people are calling in and really struggling with that. Our office has been locked down because of the COVID, but we are still answering the phones. And even though we're not unemployment, we're kind of help guiding people with all of the applications and stuff like that.
Wonderful.
I do know, just with what I've been hearing staff saying, that that extra $600 is starting to show up onto people's unemployment claims.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a doozy. Self-employed people, I'm telling all the staff, tell them to apply. Tell everybody that's self-employed to apply. I have not seen any self-employed people receive funds yet, but I do know that I'm getting updates that they are working on that process. And my theory, just my theory, is that if they get it in and they apply, there's a good chance that they could then be back paid. So rather than waiting, get in there and just you do it online at UI Online and sign up just like you normally would for unemployment, and it'll ask you if you're self-employed. What
Amber,
else can I?
That's great information. In our chat, could you type in any way that they would get a hold of any of that information, whether it's your office's phone number, or is there a website? Where can they get?
I will put that in chat. I will definitely put that online for you if you want me to.
Okay.
What else did I want to say? We've been literally just answering the phones. Half of my staff that we are up here, we're the workforce services side. They literally have been recruited by unemployment, and they're trying to be trained now to do unemployment. It's they're headhunting all offices right now, so it's become really busy. Hold on just a second, because I have actually my manager is calling me on my other phone, so I will get back to you. Have someone else talk right now.
Okay, and yeah, just text us in the chat.
I will. Mm-hmm.
Somebody else about to speak? Nat, let's throw up a few of those other things to go over.
Sure.
And we can, if anybody needs, these are on our social media and on our Facebook and our Instagram and on our website. And this is kind of a line out between the Paycheck Protection Program, uses, collateral, forgiveness, amount, terms, and all. And then on the other side, on the right side, is the EIDL, which has the same thing, the uses, collateral, forgiveness. So anyways, that's a snapshot from the SBA and the SBDC on how to do that. So you can screenshot that. We can email that to you, and it is honestly, it's on our social media pages right now. We're trying to be a a funnel, a storehouse, warehouse of information for local businesses, organizations, people in the community. So that one is very important, and it's a real guide to things. Next. So people are going to start getting stimulus checks, and I know some folks just need to pay rent, need to buy groceries, mortgage, insurance, whatever, but some folks, are probably thinking about what are we going to do with the extra money. Well, now, obviously, a lot of money has not gone to local businesses recently due to their shops being closed, but it's been amazing how well the local stores and shops, restaurants, and businesses have pivoted to be more online, to be curbside, to be delivery friendly, to mail things out. It's been great, from the restaurants to the mom and pop shops to service organizations. They're able to do things, counseling through Zoom, just different things like that. It's been really powerful to see people pivot on this. But anyway, so if we just want to help put out there to everybody that, hey, when the money comes in, yeah, you got to take care of business for you and your family and all. But when you do shop local, support local. That's what our banner is on Main Street right now, is support local, shop local. Next. We are doing Friday e-blasts for free for any business. If you send us a logo or a flyer and your link, we're getting it out there, and people are getting great responses from that. That's just the top part of it, but down below all that is all the businesses' logos and links, and it goes to 800. It gets forwarded to thousands, and people are getting business from that. So whether it's you or somebody that has something, get it to me by Thursday at noon, and it'll be in everybody's inbox Friday morning. And it's a powerful way through e-blast. We just got to use every avenue possible to us, whether it's websites or social media or emails, to do that. Okay, next. I just want to know, who is that? Is that one of your relatives, guys, gals? Sorry, just had to put it out there. Next. And we're updating our local restaurants that are chamber members that when they're open, and if they're doing delivery or curbside pickup, if they're open, if they're closed, with their phone numbers, so that people can continue to shop local and be able to get to the restaurants that obviously are struggling as well. So those are kind of the things that we wanted to go over here. Gift cards are a huge part of things these days. Buy them now, use them later. Buy them now, give them out as gifts, to others to use. Those are all great things to do. So we'll talk in our future ones. We're going to have SBDC back on the line next week. We're going to talk about some recovery programs and things. What do we do from here? What do we do when things open up? Things of that sort. And we want to be a resource to everybody, you and anybody you know. Call us, 527-6220. Start with extension 301. Email dave@redbluffchamber.com. We want to help you. Our website, our Instagram, our Facebook is all there to help promote. We have on our Instagram and Facebook boxes of our posts saying, businesses, update your information. So we're getting people saying, hey, we're open these days. We have these products we're selling. We have these restaurant specials. And it's really helped locals to be able to connect and engage then with the local businesses. So please see those, share those, like those, and be able to get the information out. You know, when everybody's kind of separate now, communication is huge. For every department, law enforcement, for every assemblyman, for every business, for every association, every bank, it's important, the communication that we are able to give out to everybody. And so Amber put on the chat the website for unemployment. So please have that to use or to give to somebody else. Does anybody else have anything else you want to bring up?
I do, Dave.
Okay.
I just want to let everybody know that Empower Tehama is still open. We're trying to have people schedule appointments if they need help. I know that you would ask Kyle about domestic violence right now. We're really trying to get the word out there that we are still open. Our 24-hour crisis hotline is open for people just needing to talk. Quarantine is a scary time for us because we don't know if people are unable to reach us, if they're thinking that maybe we're closed. So we're just trying to get the word out there that we are open. Another thing that I wanted to just talk about with supporting local small businesses also is we're trying to take a lot of our outreach and prevention online. So we're doing a lot of the things that we used to do in the schools. We're now throwing a lot of that out onto Facebook and Instagram. So we're doing a lot of contests for teens and kids at home and things like that, and then using local businesses purchasing gift certificates and then giving them to the kids as prizes to go and shop in local stores. So
great. How do we get a hold of you, Jennifer?
I will put my email in the box and then our 24-hour which is also our business line. So
okay.
So.
Let me show you all this. This is on our social media, and basically it says businesses of Red Bluff-Tehama County, please, I'm trying to read this backwards, please update us with your current information here. So that's a place, Jennifer, as well. If you could put all that information on there, it's getting great traction when people are posting things. And they're calling, they're emailing, they're looking up on websites. So anyways, we try to put up a new one of these about every 3 days for people to give updates on what exactly is going on.
Okay, so, sounds great. I'll send it over. Thanks, Dave.
Sure. And same with any other business or organization, law enforcement, assemblyman, anybody out there. Maryanne, we're putting your information out there already, but please use us as a resource to get the word out about your products, your services, and what you have to offer the locals.
Absolutely. We'll continue to do that, and thank you for everything you guys have been doing to help get out the word on different things. And certainly we want to, do the same when you have stuff that you're trying to get out there.
Great. Yeah, we appreciate that. We have a saying over our way, teamwork makes the dream work. And, it takes all of us from our various spots in the community to make our community strong and vibrant in crisis and in recovery. And then when we get beyond recovery and just go gangbusters again.
That's right.
Anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
This is Orly.
Hey, Orly.
Yeah, I have a question. I had gotten a call yesterday about wanting information about the program that the governor had announced about free meals for seniors coming from local restaurants. And I've not heard anything about that program, and I was just curious if anyone knows anything about that. I think we talked with Assemblyman Gallagher's office, and they were checking on it. So I'm not sure if anything is developed on that or not.
Anybody?
Julia, I don't know if you have any more information on that. I know there was some discussion about that, but I haven't really seen, you know, where that's coming together and actually gotten out to provide additional support to, for example, Meals on Wheels, you know, up here yet. But I know that's something they are talking about, trying to put together nonprofits and government to kind of increase the amount of increase the underlying network of meal support to seniors.
Right.
Yeah, or they haven't heard anything.
If you haven't heard back from our office, that means we haven't found the answer yet. But we are definitely leaving no stone unturned and trying to answer these questions and get information out to people. So,
anybody else know anything about that? Okay. I'll finish up with a couple of things. Nat, I just emailed you something, if you could post that. But also for our area, USDA is starting to help rural communities through the COVID. And they actually, on this, they have a federal rural resource guide, and they have a website on here too, if we can see it, where they're helping out farms, ranchers, orchardists, you know, anybody involved in agriculture. That the USDA is now wanting to step up and help out as well. So, you know, you just never know when it's something for you. You just never know when it's something for somebody else. Okay, so here's some of my chicken scratch. But on here are some other grants and programs going on. Main Street Grant Program, they want to, through the Treasury Department, they want to help local businesses. So that's something to Google search and find out. You know, we're not on here to be experts, but we're here to be encouragement and to point people in the right direction. You know, there's a Small Business Relief Fund. Oh, that's for Seattle, sorry. But the JP Morgan has pledged $50 million to consumers and small businesses. Restaurant workers, they have a special foundation. Who knew? COVID-19 Emergency Relief Fund for small businesses and their workers. Yelp is offering $25 million to help independent restaurants and entertainment. So, you know, you just find different things, and we're just throwing it out there. And you can Google search some of this, and maybe it'll help you. Maybe it'll help somebody else. And, you know, and some of these funds will make the difference to go from surviving to thriving. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about a wrap. I really appreciate everybody's input and everybody being on here. If you look on our chat, we have from Jennifer and the Empower Tehama information. And then, so get that. And then also, if anybody needs mask clips to save your ears, oh, okay, that's great. Michelle over at Zelma's has those, 527-7224. So I'm assuming, how do those clips work, Michelle?
So they actually hook around the elastic that would go around your ears, and so it'll actually extend that elastic past your ears and keep it secure in place and not leave your ears sore. So that's how those function. We have a new prototype. I'll post it on our social media so you can kind of check it out, but it has a couple of different notches for different sized heads. So if you are in, a first responder role, or if you are in a position where you have to wear a mask all the time and your ears feel like they're going to fall off, we've created these to help save your ears. So just let us know. I put our phone number in there, which is textable. So if texting's easier, you can totally text us there, and I'll drop our email address as well.
And you have those in stock there at your shop?
We sure do.
Curbside service?
Curbside or delivery.
Or delivery. What a deal. Way to go, Michelle. That's great. You just never know. That's awesome. I think law enforcement, you guys need some of those.
Quite possibly. I'm going to pass that information along.
Nice, nice. Yeah, well, we'll, yeah, and there's her email address as well, sales@tehamasawards.com. So we'll end this thing here. We'll meet again next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We'll send out invites. Please invite anybody else that you would like to have be a part of this. We appreciate y'all being on and being part of the community where you're a leader in. And so continue to have courage, continue to lead, continue to, even through the tough times, try to have that word of encouragement or seeing the glass half full instead of half empty, even in crisis and very troubling, turbulent times. And so I appreciate y'all being on here. God bless you today and this week, and we're going to keep on keeping on, and we're going to see through to victory on this thing.
Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you all today.